Hi, I'm Holliday, and this is Chloroform and Chillz. I'm on my boneless couch. Hello, I want to jump in real quick because something has come to my attention that people don't know where my sources are. So, in the description are my sources of where I got my information or anything. I usually get my information from articles, other podcasts, and everything. But an incident or something, a situation has come up where another creator thought I was taking their creative way or their mirroring their vibe or whatever, and that is not what I'm trying to do. So I took that video down and I'll redo the video, but also I want people to understand that my sources are in my description. And obviously I did not cite this creator properly, so I will work on citing better. That's basically what I can say. So anyway, back to our story. And I'm in my pajamas today. This week we are going to be chilling because I am doing the research on a case where we're going to build something for four individuals. No, six individuals that were murdered, and it's the Freeway Phantom. I've been working on that case for a couple weeks now. So yeah, and I'm hoping to build a Lego set while doing it. But this week we are going to be just chilling on the boneless couch and talking about a very, very horrific murder. We're going to talk about the murder of Tyrell Holmes on April. First of all, this is in Pennsylvania, okay? This is in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, but whatever. On April 28th, 2018, at 2:30 a.m., residents of the Parkhurst apartment complex hear some things going on outside. The residents of the Parkhurst apartment complex are woken up to screams of agony. Some residents that live in the Parkhurst apartment complex near the dumpsters actually see something wicked. So it's pretty dark outside. They look out their window, looking out their window, they see a mannequin on the floor, but the mannequin is on fire and moaning. Let's be real, guys. It's never a mannequin. Anytime you think you see one, it's usually a body. This mannequin is moving. This mannequin is now groaning instead of screaming in agony. By residents of the apartment complex, police were immediately called. Bethlehem police arrived on scene and saw that this wasn't a mannequin. This was actually a human that was set on fire and left on the ground near a dumpster. Police ended up calling homicide and the coroner. The person on fire was later identified as Tyrell Michael Holmes. He was 18 years old. Tyrell had dreams just like us. Tyrell was somebody's grandson. He was a friend, and somebody left him near the dumpster like he was trash. Tyrell's death really devastated his grandmother. Investigators looked at the brutal attack on Tyrell as a personal killing. Investigators started from the beginning. Let's look into Tyrell's life. Talking to friends and family, investigators were able to find out that Tyrell actually was affiliated with a gang called Money Rules Everything, shortened for MRE. Tyrell was living with friends that were also members of this gang MRE at 45 East Raspberry Street. At the time, Tyrell was living with two of them, but in Tyrell's case, four gang members actually were involved potentially. Those gang members or friends were Elcon Duncan, 22 years old, Yazir Jenkins Rowe, 22 years old, Miles Harper, 21, and Zahir Welcome. Let's talk about this gang a little bit. Money Rules Everything, or MRE, is a gang that originated in the Marvin and Pembroke housing developments. They are known for shootings and robberies. They were involved with robberies, but also they were involved in a shooting at a mall in the area. And word on the street is that Tyrell was involved in one of these robberies, and allegedly he messed it up and he was skimming off the top, as in taking some money for himself, stealing from said gang. With some more investigation from investigators, they looked into Tyrell's cell phone and they went through his messages and they saw that he sent a text. He sent a text to a friend. The text is summarized as Tyrell telling a friend he believed that people were after him and he was going to die. And he had a strong feeling that it was going to happen soon. Tyrell said in a text to said friend, Elcon Duncan's Yazir Jenkins, Rowe, and Zamir, welcome. Save those names. If something happens to me, know those three. This text was actually sent hours before Tyrell's death. What Tyrell was feeling had to be terrifying. Knowing harm is going to come to you, you just don't know when. It's unimaginable, okay? I can't even imagine knowing that I'm going to die and not knowing when, I guess. I mean, I know that now, but like in this situation of being affiliated with a gang. As investigators are chasing down leads, Tyrell's autopsy actually comes back. Tyrell's autopsy was completed by coroner Zach Zach Lex. I'm horrible with names. I'm so sorry. And I even listened to it. That's the sad part. Zach Likes came to the conclusion that Tyrell died from a combination of smoke inhalation, thermal injuries, and being stabbed several times. Zach Likes went further to explain that Tyrell was still alive when he was set ablaze. He was able to tell everybody that smoke was present in Tyrell's lungs. Remember in the beginning when I said that residents of the apartment complex saw a mannequin and it was moving and screaming? That was Tyrell's final moments. Investigators decided to look into the names from the text that Tyrell sent to his friend. They start with Alcon Duncans. I'm suspecting he's the leader of the small group of MRE, which is Money Rules Everything. I only say this because from research that I've done, the robbery that Tyrell botched, it actually did happen. And it was thought also by other gang members that Tyrell was stealing from them. Duncans was also being threatened by other gang members to handle Tyrell. So from then, Duncans decided to take care of Tyrell. Duncans conspired with 3 other people in the murder of Tyrell. Are these individuals? It's Zaire Jenkins Rowe, Miles Harper, Zamir Welcome. Investigators now have names of the potential killers. Now they need a little bit more. They need some witnesses. And do they have them? Witnesses that come forward, all their identities are hidden for their safety. And they even have some surveillance footage. Let's start with the witnesses though. Around Duncan's apartment at 45 East Raspberry Street, witnesses said they heard brutal pounding and a loud shriek and a crash on the floor. Minutes before Tyrell's murder, one of Duncan's co-conspirators can be seen on surveillance camera in the vicinity parking his Nissan Maxima on the sidewalk and walking into Duncan's apartment. 6 minutes later, the Nissan Maxima is then moved to the Parkhurst apartments. According to statements and more detailed investigation and evidence, this is what happened. Before the murder and transporting Tyrell to the dumpsters near Parkhurst apartment complexes, Duncans told his co-conspirators it was time to address Tyrell stealing from the gang. Duncans even told his co-conspirators to leave their cell phones at home so the police won't track them if it comes back to them. As you can see, this is extremely premeditated. So Duncans confronted Tyrell at his apartment with the 3 other men present. The group started stabbing Tyrell. They stabbed him multiple times in his neck and multiple times in his chest. After stabbing Tyrell, they transported Tyrell to the Parkhurst apartment complex near the dumpsters, where Duncans gave the order to douse him in gasoline and set him on fire. He gave this order specifically to Miles Harper. With investigators figuring out what happened that night, they were able to draw warrants and start arresting these people. On March 14, 2025, yes, last year, Alcon Duncans was found guilty of first-degree murder and other charges. Also at this time, Duncans was serving time for a robbery. It was actually at a college he went to. So let me tell you about that. It was reported that Duncans could have had a better life than life in prison. He was an amazing athlete in high school and he even managed to go to college, and he was an amazing athlete in high school and in college. He played 10 of the games in college. 7 of them he was a starter. But instead he decided to go down this path of crime. Duncans was actually given life in prison and 23 to 50 years. So he's never getting out. June 3rd, 2025, Yazir Jenkins Rowe plead guilty to third-degree murder, criminal conspiracy to commit murder, and arson. He was sentenced to 27.5 years to 60 years in prison. October 9th, 2025, Yazmir Welcome was found guilty of first-degree murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and kidnapping. He was sentenced also to life in prison without the possibility of parole and given 20 to 40 years more. So he'll never get out as well. Miles Harper pled guilty to aggravated arson. He was given 5 to 20 years. I'm going to say it, Miles Harper got off pretty damn easy. Are we forgetting that the arson charge is for setting a human being on fire? Like, homie is in his 20s. He's going to get out. He's going to get out and he'll be maybe 50, 60. He's going to get out because this is aggravated arson. Like, nothing connected to, I mean, it's arson of Tyrell being alive, but there's no murder attached to that arson. It's just arson. Once everybody was caught and sentenced, Tyrell's grandmother actually had a few words to say about Tyrell's murder, and what I'm going to say is just 2 words that she said. Tyrell's murder was pure evil. I know it's that street life, but for you to ever think that you could stab somebody and set them on fire and dump them at a dumpster like they're trash, you deserve to be in hell. Yeah, you actually deserve the death penalty. And actually, the prosecutors for Tyrell's case tried to go for that. They tried to go for the death penalty, but all these individuals made deals, except 2 of them. 2 of them did actually go to trial and they were sentenced to life in prison. And that was Duncan's and Welcome. Also, what I want to say is that Bethlehem, PA, it's close to Easton and Lehigh Valley. Like that's all like one like cluster place or whatever. For my safety, I actually used to work up there and it seems very up there. I have not really seen a lot of people of color. So I'm very shocked that this happened in this neighborhood, but also every city has a hood. Every state has a hood. Every country has a hood. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was a hood situation where I just never been to that part of Bethlehem, Easton, or Lehigh Valley. This happened in like 2018. It took them 7 years to get Tyrell some justice. But again, as Tyrell's grandmother said, this is pure evil. I hope you like our case this week. I know it was short. It's probably going to be a little shorter than my other cases. So please bear with me as I study and put together this Freeway Phantom case for you guys. So please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys later. Bye.